Heavy-duty cookware made of cast iron is valued for its heat retention, durability, ability to maintain high temperatures for longer time duration, and non-stick cooking when properly seasoned. Seasoning is also used to protect bare cast iron from rust. Types of cast iron cookware include frying pans, Dutch ovens, griddles, waffle irons, flat-top grills, panini presses, crepe makers, deep fryers, tetsubin, woks, poikis, and karahi. Cast iron story begins in 5th century BCE China, where innovators discovered how to use molds to cast molten iron into various shapes, including cookware. These early advancements laid the foundation for a material that would become indispensable for generations to come. By the 17th century, cast iron cookware had become a household staple in colonial America. Families relied on it for cooking over open hearths, and its durability made it an essential part of daily life. In the 18th century, as stoves became more common, flat-bottomed cast iron pans were introduced. These replaced earlier versions that featured rounded bases and feet designed to sit directly in the fire. The shift reflected changing cooking methods and showcased cast iron's adaptability. The 19th century marked a golden age for cast iron cookware. Advances in manufacturing made it more affordable and widely available. Iconic brands like Griswold, founded in 1865, and Wagner Ware, founded in 1891, elevated cast iron to a new level of craftsmanship, producing pieces that are still treasured by collectors today, including us. We inherited a number of vintage cast iron pans from the 1930s from our grandmother that sparked the idea for field. During this time, the modern-style skillet rose in popularity, thanks to wood and coal stoves that enabled more precise cooking. Cast iron's durability and even heat distribution made it an ideal choice for home cooks and professionals alike. In the 1950s, lighter aluminum and stainless steel cookware were introduced, leading to a decline in cast iron's prevalence. While other American cast iron manufacturers shuttered their businesses, Lodge Cast Iron modernized its production methods, shifting from a hand-poured operation to an automated molding process. The move to mass production allowed for cost savings but also necessitated some changes to their products. During this same period, the cookware industry was revolutionized by the introduction of non-stick coatings. DuPont's Teflon, PTFE, coating, first used in cookware in 1961, quickly dominated the market throughout the 1970s, 80s and 90s. Teflon's synthetic nonstick surface relied on PFOA, a chemical later classified as a likely human carcinogen by the EPA in the early 2000s. Why cast iron endures? For over 3 centuries, cast iron cookware has remained a cornerstone of American kitchens, outlasting cooking trends and more modern innovations. As today's cooks increasingly seek sustainable, healthy cookware, cast iron's time-tested benefits have gained renewed appreciation. While other cookware materials come and go, cast iron's enduring appeal lies in its fundamental qualities, a unique combination of practicality, sustainability, and connection to culinary tradition. Although Julia Child was a French-trained professional chef with a television series and cookbooks to her name, she took a refreshingly low-pressure approach to home cooking. She encouraged her viewers and readers to make mistakes, learn as they went, and, above all, not to take themselves too seriously. There was one area, though, in which Julia didn't compromise: she really cared about her cookware. With utensils, pots, and pans being of the utmost importance to Julia, she even had a system for organizing and displaying her most used tools. Perhaps you've heard of her pegboard wall. With her formal training, meticulous eye for detail, and refusal to let her cooking become fussy, I was curious about what cookware she considered essential. I did a deep dive into her cookbook Mastering the Art of French Cooking, and her memoir, My Life in France, to mine for mentions of must-have pots, pans, and other tools. It was no surprise that Julia called out, by name, the gear she couldn't do without. Let's take a look. Julia Child demonstrated how to use the right kitchen tools and pointed out features that made them work for a particular dish, such as the size of the pan or the height of the sides. She recommended seasoning a new cast iron skillet before use, which prevents sticking. Julia Child demonstrated how to use the right kitchen tools and pointed out features that made them work for a particular dish, such as the size of the pan or the height of the sides. She recommended seasoning a new cast iron skillet before use, which prevents sticking. Non-stick pans were still relatively new at the time and many home cooks may not have had one. If you have either an iron pan like this or an aluminum one, you have to season it first before you use it, Child said on the French omelette episode of The French Chef. You heat it until it's just a little too warm for your hand. She demonstrated with one of her own seasoned pans. You pour oil in it and then you let it sit overnight. Then she showed viewers how to coat the bottom with salt, put it over heat, and rub the salt into the pan with a paper towel. Washing the pan with soap would remove the oil and require that you re-season the pan before using it again. Because Julia Child cooked live on her show, mistakes were bound to happen. But she embraced them as part of the process and encouraged her viewers to do the same. She approached cooking with a smile and a sense of adventure, two things that she thought all chefs needed. This is my invariable advice to people: learn how to cook, try new recipes, learn from your mistakes, be fearless, and above all have fun, she said. This attitude became one of the trademarks of her show and celebrity persona. It was also one of the reasons why her show made French cooking seem so attainable for home cooks. Julia Child stressed the importance of using fresh, high-quality ingredients whenever possible. You don't have to cook fancy or complicated masterpieces, just good food from fresh ingredients, she said. In the mushroom episode of The French Chef, Child showed viewers how to tell the differences between mushrooms at the market, including key markers of freshness. When she cooked, Child demonstrated why freshness matters with many ingredients. In the poached egg episode, she noted the difference between using a fresh egg and an older one. If you want to have this lovely shape, you have to have very fresh eggs. Because if you don't have very fresh eggs, you'll end up with a miserable object like this, she said, holding 2 poached eggs up to the camera. Fresh ingredients will shine brighter in any dish, which means you can keep it simple to achieve delicious meals at home.